Hey, this is Luke with another Android Guys podcast. I'm here with Scott.
Hi, Luke.
How are ya?
I'm doing.
Oh boy,
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm all right.
I always know you're gonna ask that question.
Yeah,
One of these days, I'm gonna have a thesaurus sitting here on the desk,
yeah.
and I'm gonna just look up synonyms for awesome, or great, or cool. I'm doing cool.
I'm doing cool, man.
I'm doing good adjacent.
Good adjacent.
How are you?
I'm good. In place.
Okay.
I don't know how to do. I don't know how to say that. You have a product to talk about today that I looked at, and it would. If I had this product, I feel like I would answer the "How are you?" question. Cool. I'm cool, man.
I'm cool.
Like I feel like a person that says I'm cool has that.
Well,
because this thing is cool.
It is cool looking.
Yeah.
This is the I'm going to be talking today about the Briiv Air Filter, and I don't know if you look it up on your phone.
Yeah.
If you're listening and you look this up, I do apologize for the ads you're going to see.
Oh.
Over and over and over.
Okay.
Because they are all over the place. Instagram,
gotcha.
Social media, through websites, things like that. Since I've spent time with it, looked it up, gone to their website, I've got cookies all over the internet. And I can't go anywhere without something presenting the Briiv Air Filter to me.
Okay.
So it's Briiv, Briiv. And it's an air filter. It looks kind of like an air purifier, but it looks like something, like you said, is just cool.
It looks like a terrarium.
Yes. Yeah. And it's glass.
Yeah.
And it's got, I'm trying to think of what the actual materials are. Coconut. Coconut fiber. And then it also has reindeer moss.
Yeah.
And then some silk matrix filters in there as well. So it's like a multi-layer air filter, air purifier. And it's 100% renewable and natural materials.
Yeah.
So air purifiers, air filter, I mean, we've got one right over here behind me.
Yep.
It's really easy to make them boring. It's really easy to make them minimalist and hide them, kind of keep them out of the way. I've got one at home that just kind of sits in the corner behind our love seat.
Yeah.
You don't really see it. It just does its work. This is one that, for me, asks to be looked at.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's plugged in, and so you can't just set it on like a coffee table.
Yeah.
But if you have it on an end table, countertop, nightstand, anything, it's a cool looking thing.
Yeah.
And it's a great air purifier.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, and this is not any exaggeration. This is not, I mean, I'm not in the pocket of Big Air or this is not a promoted thing from Briiv.
Yeah.
We had this thing going for about 3 days in our house. We had somebody come over that was going to watch our dog while we were out of town for a couple of days. Okay. And she literally took like 3 or 4 steps in the house, and she stopped, and she's like, you guys are doing something with the air here. I was like, she's like, it's really clean in here. It's really pure. And I was like, well, there's an air, and I pointed at it, and she's like, that thing is amazing. She's like, I have some allergies, and I'm very sensitive, and I'm always reluctant when I go into somebody's house I've never been to. She's like, your air is great. And I was like, well, that's going to go in my review.
Yeah, for sure.
Because for me, if I'm in the house and this thing's going for a while, I don't realize it. It's like that, slow boil thing.
Yeah, sure.
But for somebody who comes in who's never been in there, or if you go to somebody's house, you've got some allergies, right?
I do, yeah.
So you can tell if there's dander, or if there's something when you go in there, you're just like, oh, this air isn't pure.
Right.
Somebody needs to purify this air.
Yeah.
This thing is awesome.
Nice.
It really is. You have it's very easy to put together. You take it out of the box. It's got this glass kind of shell.
Mm-hmm.
You've got this, the moss comes in a little bag that you pull out and just kind of place down inside. There's a disc kind of shaped thing for the coconut, kind of like shell kind of skin.
Right.
So you put that down in there, put it together, and it's, just a couple of moments really, and then you're up and running. Plug it in, and then you can adjust from like a 1 to 4 on how hard you want this thing to work.
Sure.
So it's got a USB connection. So if you do want to set it somewhere, as long as you have USB, you can have, it's not a battery, but if you want to put it on the coffee table, I guess you could.
Sure.
You would just have to run it off of something with USB.
Okay.
According to their website, it can clean a 6 meter by 6 meter space in 1 hour.
Wow.
So you could buy these in a single, double, triple pack, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any real reason to go beyond 1 for a regular house.
Okay.
I feel like it's done a great job of just filtering. It's very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Even having it set at the 4 levels. When you turn it all the way up, you can definitely hear it, but it's a true, it's a white noise. And I know we joke about the sound of that, offline here or whatever, but it's quiet.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where after you turn it off, you go, oh, was that something was running?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a laptop fan.
Okay.
Kind of sound.
Yeah.
Where it's just on.
Yeah.
You can control it by an app as well.
Oh.
Which is nice. So if you wanted to pull that up, you can actually connect it to your Wi-Fi, or you can connect to it.
Oh, okay.
And you can control the settings on that. You can go over and kind of touch the buttons. I know if you're looking at the pictures of it, you don't see them. There's like a light, like an LED at the bottom.
Yeah.
But right above that, would you just kind of like touch that?
Oh, yeah, I see it now. Mm-hmm.
Almost like a speaker.
Yeah.
That kind of material. But if you touch that, the LED lights light up behind that.
Nice.
And then you can kind of adjust the settings for it. So it's a really cool thing. I was fascinated. I thought it was, I've seen more than enough air purifiers and filters through here that sometimes they get kind of boring. Yeah. Sometimes it's kind of like, oh, okay, what's the draw here? Right. I was fascinated by this thing because the way it looked. Yeah. Size wise, it's pretty compact. Okay. It doesn't take up much more space than maybe, certainly not as big as a coffee maker. Okay. Maybe, like a gallon of milk, kind of base.
Yeah, it has like that. Some of the product pictures have it close to, looks like a French press, coffee French press, a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah. Like a really thick jumbo roll of paper towel or something.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So it looks great in any room. It's one of those things where when some things are trying to hide and fit with any environment, this thing is actually asks to be looked at and to be talked about. It has some replaceable filters and pieces and parts that you can get. Mm-hmm. The reindeer moss is supposed to last for about a year. Okay. The coconut fiber for about a year. The other filter inside is going to be about 3 months each, but you get 4 of those with it. So you've got that year. This thing, according to them, is like having, I want to say 3,000, as powerful as 3,000 medium-sized houseplants. Wow. So it's designed to do the work of, a lot of plants of just keeping your air nice and it's just, just great. It's got a 2-year warranty. Nice. Where a lot of things come with a 4, like a 1 year. So we give that a 4. Yeah. For me, I gave this a 4.5 for warranty. Yeah. So it gets a little bit extra points here. So this comes in at 4.2 for me.
That's good.
So very good. Build quality, it's really interesting. It's just a cool looking thing. Yeah. Price wise, I gave it a 3.5. Yeah. So I did bring that down a little bit. And if you're looking at the price of this thing, it is to buy one of them is about $335. Yeah. So that's
it's a significant amount of money.
Yeah, it's not an impulse thing.
And then the way they have it billed on their website is a whole house set is 4 of them, and that's a little over $1,300.
Yeah, that's not.
It's I mean, clean air is definitely important, and that's I think it's gonna just be more and more important. But that's a decent amount of money. But if it works as well as what it sounds like, and it's it's got a lot of certifications. It's B Corp certified. It's won plenty of awards. It definitely is a great product. But yeah, you have to pay good money for good things.
Yeah, so like another air purifier that I'm currently reviewing, going to run about $140.
Yeah,
for something that's a little bit more utilitarian.
Yeah,
and if that's just your thing, you're like, I don't really care.
Sure,
you're going to spend for the aesthetics here, and you're also going to spend for the sustainability.
Sure,
if you're a big proponent of taking care of the environment, this is kind of a good way to do that.
Yeah.
It's, reading instead of opting for all oil-based plastics, it's a bioplastic derived from elephant grass. So, plant-based stuff, I mean, as much as they can. Yeah. This is kind of like a smart, cool, progressive kind of thing. Yeah. And I can speak to the quality of it. It's great, but it's not one of those things where I could say, man, everybody needs one of these. Yeah. So, but if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I've been meaning to do something like this for my house, and a nice gift for somebody, housewarming or whatever, this might be something to consider.
Awesome.
So that's the Briiv, Briiv air purifier.
Well, thanks for telling us about the Briiv, bruv.
Oh boy. Thank you. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.